In the annals of history, few figures captivate the imagination quite like Cleopatra VII Philopator, the last pharaoh of Egypt. Her name conjures images of ancient pyramids, Nile-side palaces, and a powerful queen who held sway over empires. Yet, beneath the familiar veneer of legend lies a complex truth about her origins, a truth that challenges common perceptions and invites a deeper understanding of the Hellenistic world. The popular image of Cleopatra, often depicted with dark hair and olive skin, frequently leads to the assumption that she was ethnically Egyptian, a direct descendant of the pharaohs who built the pyramids. This widespread belief, however, overlooks centuries of history that shaped the lineage of her royal house. To uncover Cleopatra's true heritage, one must journey back to the tumultuous aftermath of Alexander the Great's conquests. Following Alexander's sudden death in 323 BCE, his vast empire was fractured and divided among his most trusted generals, known as the Diadochi. One such general, Ptolemy Isoter, a Macedonian Greek, laid claim to Egypt, establishing a new dynasty that would rule for nearly 3 centuries. This was the Ptolemaic dynasty, and Cleopatra was its final, most famous sovereign. The Ptolemies, despite ruling Egypt, consistently maintained their Greek Macedonian identity and culture. They governed from the newly founded city of Alexandria, a vibrant Hellenistic metropolis that served as a beacon of Greek learning and commerce. The language of the court, the administration, and the elite was Koine Greek, not ancient Egyptian. Cleopatra's immediate family tree firmly rooted her in this Macedonian lineage. While the precise identity of her mother is debated among historians, the consensus is that she, too, would have been of Macedonian Greek descent, or at least of a Hellenistic background that aligned with the Ptolemaic court. The Ptolemies famously practiced sibling marriage, a tradition intended to keep the royal bloodline pure and consolidate power. This practice of endogamy meant that for nearly 300 years, the Ptolemaic line remained overwhelmingly Greek, with very little, if any, intermarriage with the native Egyptian population. Cleopatra's parents were likely siblings, or at least closely related, reinforcing her Greek Macedonian heritage through generations of such unions. Her full name, Cleopatra VII Philopator, is entirely Greek, as were the names of all her dynastic predecessors. Archaeological evidence further supports this understanding of her Greek ethnicity. Surviving coin portraits of Cleopatra depict her with distinctly Hellenistic features, a prominent nose, a strong chin, and full lips, often adorned with a Greek diadem. These images align with the aesthetic conventions of Greek portraiture, rather than the stylized representations typical of ancient Egyptian art. While Cleopatra was undoubtedly the Queen of Egypt, her political role did not equate to an ethnic identity. Her reign marked a unique period where a foreign ruling class governed a deeply ancient civilization. The Ptolemies saw themselves as inheritors of Alexander's legacy, bringing Greek culture and institutions to the lands they controlled. It is true that Cleopatra was exceptional among her dynasty for embracing certain aspects of Egyptian culture. She was reportedly the first Ptolemaic ruler in centuries to learn the Egyptian language, a remarkable feat that likely endeared her to her subjects and facilitated direct communication. This linguistic mastery was a shrewd political move, demonstrating a willingness to connect with the populace she governed. However, learning the language of her subjects did not transform her ethnicity. It was a strategic adaptation by a monarch deeply invested in securing her throne and navigating the complex politics of her time. Her ability to speak Egyptian set her apart from her predecessors, who often relied on interpreters, but it did not alter her genetic makeup or her family's long-standing Macedonian heritage. The misconception of Cleopatra as ethnically Egyptian is understandable, given her iconic status as the Queen of the Nile and her association with the grandeur of ancient Egypt. Over centuries, popular culture, artistic interpretations, and even historical narratives have often blurred the lines between her political identity as Egypt's ruler and her ethnic origins. Roman propaganda, too, sometimes portrayed her in ways that suited their political agendas, further obscuring the nuances of her heritage. Her legendary romances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, both powerful Romans, further cemented her image as a figure deeply intertwined with the fate of Egypt. Yet, even in these relationships, she acted as a Hellenistic monarch, shrewdly leveraging her position and her kingdom's wealth to influence the most powerful men in the Mediterranean world. She was a queen playing a dangerous geopolitical game, not a native Egyptian leader. The court she presided over in Alexandria was a center of Hellenistic learning and culture, attracting scholars, philosophers, and artists from across the Greek-speaking world. The Great Library of Alexandria, a jewel of the ancient world, was a testament to the Ptolemaic commitment to Greek intellectual traditions. This environment shaped Cleopatra's education and worldview, reinforcing her Greek identity. Ultimately, Cleopatra's story is a fascinating study in cultural identity versus ethnic origin. She was a Greek queen who ruled Egypt, a master of diplomacy and strategy who understood the power of symbolism and adaptation. Her engagement with Egyptian religion, such as her identification with the goddess Isis, was a political maneuver designed to legitimize her rule in the eyes of her Egyptian subjects, not an indication of her ethnic background. Understanding Cleopatra's true origins does not diminish her extraordinary legacy, rather, it enriches it. It reveals a figure even more complex and nuanced than the popular myth suggests. She was a product of the Hellenistic age, a vibrant period of cultural fusion and political maneuvering, where Greek rulers governed diverse populations across vast empires. Her story reminds us that history is often more intricate than the simplified narratives we inherit. It challenges us to look beyond surface appearances and popular assumptions, encouraging a deeper inquiry into the layers of truth that shape our understanding of the past. In her life, Cleopatra embodied the intricate dance between heritage and rule, leaving behind a legacy that continues to provoke thought and inspire curiosity about the true nature of identity and power across civilizations.